I have Kirsten Lewis with me today. She's the artistic director of Ballet Etude. Kirsten, thanks for being here today.
Hey, you're welcome.
So, before we get into kind of what's going on in these next few days, in this next week, tell us a little bit about your responsibilities as director of the organization and just your time with Ballet Etude also.
Okay. Yeah. So as artistic director, I am in charge of putting our shows together. And so whether it means choreographing or finding people to choreograph the pieces, I make sure the pieces are put together and dancers gather and learn them. And then I make sure they know them well. So I rehearse them, rehearsal after rehearsal after rehearsal. So it's a lot of hours. I also teach for our studio as well. So I do teach some technique classes, but then I'm in the studio on our rehearsal days, pretty much from start to finish with this show. Our choreography is actually my dad's choreography. My parents are both dancers, and they own a studio in Nevada. And this is my dad's Nutcracker production. My mom has a piece in it, so one of the pieces is her choreography. But for putting this show together, our Nutcracker production, I basically watched their videos of previous shows and learned the choreography and then taught the choreography to my dancers. And then we just practice over and over again, making sure everybody knows it and can enter and exit smoothly without any major catastrophes. For other shows, I typically will choreograph a lot of the works myself. And so the assistant director, Madison Fujimoto, and I will, she usually finds the majority of our music. And then I go and choreograph the majority of the pieces, and then she'll choreograph something here or there, but she actually performs a lot. So she doesn't do as much of the choreography because she's busy learning the dances and rehearsing them. So it's a lovely setup where we all get to do a little bit of what we love or a lot of what we love and try to find balance within that together.
Dang, that is really cool. Awesome. Out of curiosity as well, you mentioned how you're a professor at BYU-Idaho as well.
Yeah.
I guess just talk just a little bit about how kind of that mixes with being the artistic director at Ballet Etude. Like, I guess just, if there's like an overlap in teaching style or, just the differences between teaching like the performers at Ballet Etude versus at the university, just a little bit of, how that mixes together.
Well, quite honestly, at Ballet Etude, we use a curriculum that we went to Central Pennsylvania Youth Ballet in Pennsylvania, in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And not professors, but us instructors at Ballet Etude are all trained in that method. And it's a very structured curriculum. So it breaks down level by level what to do at level 1 and then how to progress that step to something a little more advanced for level 2 and how to progress it further for 3 and 4 and 5 and so on. And so that's the method that I use at Ballet Etude and often refer to that same method frequently for my material, teaching material when I'm teaching on campus. And so the beautiful thing about the curriculum is that the advanced steps are broken down so clearly that I can teach, okay, do this and then progress it into this and then progress it into that. So then you take these very basic steps and then you put more and more into it, and then you're doing an advanced step that you know all the parts of, so you can do it really clean, really clear. And it just makes for a very strong and precise dancer. So yes, I use the same methods both at Ballet Etude and at the university while I'm teaching. I am teaching adults at the university, but the methods apply to any age and any skill level.
Wow, that's really cool. It's really cool just to see how they mix.
Yeah.
And you alluded to it already, but you guys have a big performance coming up on the weekend of the 13th. Tell us about it. Tell us the details. What's going on?
Yeah, we're doing the Nutcracker. We're doing our first full-length production of the Nutcracker. Last year we did the second act with our Christmas show. But this year we're doing Party Scene and the Battle. We have a Nutcracker Prince. We have a Mouse King. We have a Clara. All the different parts. If you're familiar with the Nutcracker, then when you come and see us, you'll see all the parts are there. And yeah, it's a big undertaking because the Party Scene has all like Victorian era clothing, the party dresses and suits and so forth. And so gathering those, making those, ordering those, that's a big part of our process this year. And then for our second act, we brought in a couple more dances than we did last year. So we've been gathering costumes for those. And then, excuse me, we have a Mother Ginger this year, which anyone who's familiar with Mother Ginger, she's got this gigantic skirt and her little ginger kids or her Polichinelles or whatever version you're doing, little kids are in the skirt and they come out of this gigantic skirt. So it's pretty fun and exciting that we've got that going on this year.
That's awesome. So is this the first time you guys are doing the Nutcracker then?
Yes, it's the first time Ballet Etude is doing the full-length Nutcracker.
Wow,
Yes.
That's incredible. So we talked about this a little bit before the interview as well, and you've kind of mentioned it too. But with putting this on a show like this, right, with all the moving parts and everybody that's in it, just talk a little bit about the time that you guys have put into it and just everything that's gone into the preparation and getting ready for it.
Okay. Well, to start off, we have our dancers training in their regular technique classes. And the way we set it up at Ballet Etude, all classes older than our creative dance classes have only their technique class happening during the week. And then they audition for parts in the show. And then they rehearse those pieces on Fridays and Saturdays so that their class time during the week is learning and strengthening their ballet technique. And then we focus on just the dances in the rehearsal time. So leading up to auditions and rehearsals and shows, our dancers are in the studio for quite a few hours a week, depending on their age and their level. But the most advanced the most advanced dancers have class 3 to 4 times a week, an hour and a half class, and then they'll have a point class on top of that for another hour. And then we rehearse for plenty of hours. So once we start, we have longer rehearsals where we're piecing together material and dancers are learning it. And then as the pieces are learned, our rehearsal time can be a little bit shorter so that we just run the pieces over and over again and get them really, really strong. But our audition process was in September. And then we have rehearsed almost every weekend since. We take a few weekends off, for holidays and things like that. But other than that, we're in the studio every Friday and Saturday rehearsing for a number of hours. And our dancers pack lunches and bring their homework and rehearse and then take little breaks, sometimes take naps and then rehearse some more. So,
whatever they got to do, right?
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
So, since this hasn't happened, I guess Nutcracker at least, right? It hasn't happened at Ballet Etude yet. With this going on, what do you guys, what are your expectations for how this is going to go, how the audience will respond, that kind of thing? Well,
based on our previous shows and the audience's response to those shows, I think this will be right along the same lines as what we've put on before with a high level of professionalism and just a performance quality that just brings magic to the stage. That's what we've produced in the past with our other shows, and I don't think this will fall short of that. It's those that are familiar with the Nutcracker, I think, will be really pleased to see the performance quality and see what we bring to the stage. And those that are not familiar with the Nutcracker, the show is really, the choreography is pretty easy to follow and see what's going on. There's pantomime that helps tell the story. We do have a synopsis written out in our program. In past years, we've had narration, But with this show being so much to put on, I actually decided not to worry about narration this year. So we'll see how our audience feels about that. But there is a little outline of the story in the program, and then I don't think it's too hard to follow along. So I do think that whether audience members are familiar or not with the Nutcracker, I think they are going to have a wonderful time. It'll be a magical show, and they will feel just the joyful feeling of watching dancers dance and express and share what they love up on the stage.
Yeah, that's great. And you guys will even have a special guest too. I believe Santa will be there, right?
Yes, yeah. We enjoy bringing Santa to our shows and having him there to greet the kids. He was actually part of our show last year. That's where the idea came from last year. We had our act one was a small, cute little Christmas story that Santa Claus was a part of. And then we had him stay and greet the children afterwards. And so this year we thought, let's just have him come again. That was the kids loved it. So yes, we invited him, and Santa is coming.
Sweet. So is he's going to be on stage in between shows?
It'll be at the end. At the end of the show. Yeah, we'll open up the curtains and he'll be up there, and kids can come on up to the stage and greet Santa and tell him what they wish for.
Sweet. Yeah, just in time for Christmas, right?
Yes.
That's perfect. So with this going on, if you're making kind of, I guess, an invitation out to people, whether they be ballet lovers or whether they know the Nutcracker or not, why would you tell people, families, individuals, whoever it be, why would you tell people that they should come and attend the show?
That's a good question, because for me, growing up, the Nutcracker is just part of Christmas. Like, I grew up in a studio, and so Nutcracker was part of our process. And with my parents owning a studio, it was like our whole family was involved. So those that maybe aren't familiar, my goal actually with Ballet Etude is for all audience members, whether they are passionate ballet supporters or have never been to a ballet before, I really strive, and the company strives with me. This is a goal that we all have. We really strive to make our productions audience friendly for all ages and all appreciation levels of ballet. And with that in mind, as I mentioned before, we really try to keep the story pretty clear to understand, so that people can follow along and know what's going on, so that they don't feel like an outsider, but they feel really taken in and invited and involved. And I feel like we do a pretty good job of that. At least that's what I've been told in the past. I've had audience members of some that are really excited about ballet and some who are very new to ballet, and all have shared that that's been their experience. They've felt just invited in and a part of the magic. And so I say, come. Whether you are familiar with ballet or not, come and see what Ballet Etude can offer, because it will be a magical experience where you will see dancers up there who love what they're doing, and you'll feel that, and their joy will just seep into your heart.
So yeah, just give us one last just reminder, I guess, of when the Nutcracker is, where it'll be at, and any costs or anything like that.
Okay, yes. We'll be at the Romance Theater, which we absolutely love performing at the Romance Theater. It will be Friday and Saturday, the 12th and 13th, and both shows are at 6 p.m. Tickets can be purchased on the website, balletetude.com, and we have a few different tiers. So children 5 and under are free, and then some seats are 10, some seats are 12, and some seats are 15. But you're going to want to purchase quickly because they are going out. They're selling out fast. So we're excited. It's a very exciting time for us.
That's great.
We couldn't be happier.
Sweet. Well, anything else that you would add that I may have missed?
I think if you're even slightly considering it, please come and see us. Come and take part and let us be a part of your Christmas holiday season.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kirsten, for being here today and talking to us about this.
Yeah, thank you so much.